do a quick backyard bushcraft slash other stuff. Alright, so the backyard part, I happen to have gray pine in my yard, and but you could get these in the woods too, a lot of places in the west coast. These are their giant pine cones, and you can see the seeds falling out here already. I happened to get some that were full of seeds. You see that? It's kind of in the shade, isn't it? Anyway, that's the seeds. That's the cone. Big old fellas. And they got these spikes that curve out. I think the Davis pine is similar, but the spikes curve in, so. Oh no, that's similar. Never mind. Ignore that part. So these I found in the backyard, but like I said, you could get these throughout California, west coast. It's the gray pine, foothill pine. And these seeds, the Aboriginal people around here used them quite extensively. And I don't know exactly how they used them. I don't know if they ground them like acorns or interestingly, these pines used to be called by some of the settlers around here digger pines, which is kind of a derogatory term nowadays because for various reasons, so we don't use it anymore. But it was called that because apparently the native peoples would dig these out of the ground with sticks. So maybe it's that these things are better after they've sprouted some or something. I don't know. I have to do some more research on that, but I plan to do that. And I'll share it with you when I get that far. If you don't want to wait, check it out yourself. But now you know what they look like, so grab some, bring them home, and then do stuff with it. Anyway, I also been out collecting acorns. These are from the black oak. There's a whole variety of acorns in California, of oak trees. Obviously they come from oak trees. The ones I hear to kind of avoid are the live oaks, kind of a last resort. They might be more bitter than the rest, more tannins or something. Some of the coastal live oaks I heard are pretty good though. Anyway, these things, break them open with a rock and the meal inside, grind it down to as fine a powder as possible, and then leach it in water. Hot water, cold water, doesn't really matter. The cold water will take more rinses and more time. And then you can, use it like a flour for baking stuff. From what I understand, in most cases, the natives made kind of a soup out of it. One thing when you're collecting these is look at them closely and look all the way around and make sure there's no holes in them. The ones with holes will have a larva inside, kind of a worm. This one has a hole in it, so I'm going to pitch it. But most of these, when I collected them, I gave them a once over. And then before I use them again, I'll check them again. And anyway, so I'm going to experiment with that. So those are two things that I found here in my yard. I have oak trees and I have these foothill pines, gray pines, that that I can collect and use and have fun with and learn about. I also was out at the woods and I gathered some, this is called toyon, and supposedly the natives used these berries also, and some of the early Spanish settlers. I guess the way to prepare these is they would roast them in the fire or boil them. I think the natives roasted them and the settlers boiled them. But I have yet to do that too, so I'm going to experiment with that as well. And be careful when you're harvesting stuff and make sure you're grabbing the right thing. The Toyon has these like mildly serrated, thick leaves, oval elongated. But get yourself some books and learn all the identifying features and double and triple check always. So I also, in my possibles bag here, grabbed a couple of different things. I grabbed some yerba santa, and that is good for different medicinal uses and also in teas and things like that. And apparently the tea has some medicinal value. I also grabbed a whole big gob of plantain, piles of it. I'm sure most of you know what that is, but let me show you up close. This grows on the ground, kind of like a dandelion, but flip this around so I can see, make sure I'm showing it to you right. So this is the plantain, and this is the narrow leaf plantain, which is much more common, at least where I'm at. And you can see the identifying feature of this is it's very elongated, and it's got these parallel ribs running from top to bottom. Got about 5 ribs on there. The broadleaf looks very similar. It's just a broadleaf. It's got the same ribs on it and everything. This is often used as in medicine. It's good for skin lesions and rashes and that kind of thing. You can make a poultice with it and rub it on, or you could rub it on like this. You know, chew it and rub it on there. It's supposedly got some antibacterial properties. It is edible. We'll go ahead and eat some. And, well, tastes like a plant. It's not spectacular. It's not bad. So, I don't know. You could harvest some of this and put it on your Subway sandwich or something. Or in a salad. Anyway, that's kind of the extent of my collecting for today. And thought I'd just share that with you real quick. So, some of this stuff I'll go into more detail later, but today is just kind of about possibles, what's out there. Getting a look-see what some of this stuff looks like. Not too detailed though, so you know, remember the names, write them down, and check them out in your books if you want. So thanks guys, we'll do some more later. Take care. Okay, one more thing I kind of wanted to tack onto this video here. It's kind of interesting for you geology and archaeology fanatics. I was browsing around and, you know, down beneath my house here underneath the deck, and there's some things of interest here in the rocks. There's lots of cobble down here, just, you know, general rocks, but there's rocks like this and like this that are interesting, and what they are, there's some more examples over here too. See these rocks with these funny edges on them? This one has it on 3 sides. This one has it. It's a really funny way to break, isn't it? Well, what that is what they call in archaeology as fire-cracked rock. And it's these spalls of rock pop off. These rocks have been heated probably more than once by fire, and they get small fractures in it, and over time they come apart. Let's see. And this is kind of what they look like before they come apart. So I bet you this one, maybe it's not ready to come apart yet. There it goes. But they end up with these funny fractures and stuff. So why that's interesting is it could be one of 2 things. Around here in far northern California, we have 2 things that might cause this. One is just a whole bunch of forest, and it's very dry area where I am. And so we have a lot of oak and manzanita and that kind of stuff. So it could be that before the houses were here, this is a result of several forest fires. It also could be rocks that were used around fires for early explorers or Native Americans and that sort of thing. Unfortunately here, where the houses, where everything was turned up when the houses were built, we have no more context to know how those things got here. If they're kind of distributed evenly all over the place, then it's probably forest fire. If they're concentrated in certain areas, sometimes you can even find them still in rings, then it would be obviously, you know, something done by humans. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of neat. These things are all over underneath my house, and so in the future, you know, if you see these things, then you can maybe look at context and think about what you might have. Anyway, cool little thing to add on there, huh? So, alright guys, thanks, take it easy.